Now that we're getting more comfortable with navigating the darknet, we know how to access websites, how to search for data and search for websites. The next thing that you might need is an email account. Now, similar to search engines, you can actually use email accounts with clear net providers such as Google and Yahoo, because as we know, we can actually load these websites through the Tor browser. So let me show you a quick look. Right here, I have the sign up page for Gmail in my Tor browser. And as you can see, you're asked for a number of things such as your first name, your last name, the email that you want. When you click on next, it'll probably ask you for more personal information such as your phone number and your address, and then it'll sign you up with an email. Same, we have Yahoo here just as another example. Again, as you can see, it asks you for a number of personal information. And then when you fill this up, you will get an email, which you can use from Tor browser on darknet websites or in the darknet really in general. Now, first of all, we have a big problem where these mail providers are asking us for personal information, for our name, for our address, for our phone number, and so on, date of birth. So these might be things that you don't really want to share with these mail providers. Now, to get around this, I want to show you a good website which you can use in many cases. I'm going to include its link in the resources of this lecture, but as usual, with any other darknet website, if the link I gave you doesn't work, look for the website name because the links can change. Now, basically what this website will do, it will create a fake identity for you. So it will give you a gender, a name, a second name, age, address, phone number, email. You can change this with your email once you actually change it, and it'll basically give you detailed information about a specific person. And what you should do, you should always use this information whenever you're signing for any service on the darknet. So this will be your identity. You forget about who you are as soon as you start Tails, and from there on, you'll become the person that you're getting from here. Now, an even better solution to this is to take this information and even modify it yourself manually so that you don't forget the information in here. So maybe you can modify the first name, the second name, you can modify the email, but the main idea here is you want to create an identity that you will always use when you're on the darknet and you will never use when you're on the clearnet. This way, your fake identity can never be linked to your real identity. This is also better than you using different identities every time you sign up to a different service, because this way you'll be more consistent and this way you'll always be filling the same data, but this data will be fake, so it's fine, it's not going to link to you. Now, you can use this information here, like I said, to sign up to one of these email services, and then you can use this email for whatever reason you want when you're communicating with friends, or if you are signing up for other darknet websites that require you to have an email address. So this could be an easy solution, but there are still a number of drawbacks to it. First, when you're accessing this service, you're exiting the Tor network because, like we said, when you want to go to a clearnet website, you're going to first go through the Tor network and then you're going to exit out of it to the service that you're trying to access. Now, this exit will be unencrypted, like I said, so anyone who intercepts this data might be able to read it and analyze it. Not only that, but these email providers are known for logging you and tracking everything you do on their servers. So whatever you type, whatever you send, whatever you receive, Gmail probably gonna keep logs on every single thing you do. Now, even though you're using fake information, and even though I'm gonna show you how to encrypt your messages in the future, this could still be a risk because, like I said, they're gonna be analyzing and tracking every single movement you do. So you can do this, like I said, use it with a fake identity. Keep this fake identity completely separate from your real identity. So make sure you never use any of this information on a clearnet website. Make sure you never use any account that's created within this fake identity to communicate with any of your real accounts or any of your real friends on the clearnet. And this might be a good enough solution for you depending on your situation. But in the next lectures, I'm going to show you more options if you want a more private and more anonymous solution. See, when it comes to picking up an email service, it really depends on why do you want this email and what's your threat model. So the solution that I showed you here could be perfect for you, but it might not be perfect for another person. Or it could be perfect for you in a certain situation, but it won't be good for other scenarios or other situations. Therefore, in the next lectures, I'm going to show you a number of other solutions that you can use in order to set up an email and communicate with other emails, and then you can compare them and pick the best one for you based on the reason why you need this email and based on your threat model. As mentioned in the previous lecture, in this lecture and in the next lectures, I'm going to show you a number of methods to send and receive emails, and then you can sit down yourself, compare them, and see which one suits you best based on the reason why you need an email address and based on your threat model. Now, the first thing that I want to cover is temporary email accounts. As the name suggests, these are email accounts that will work for a short period of time and then they'd expire, deleting all of your emails and all of the information on them. Now, the cool thing about these accounts is, first of all, they're temporary. They require no setup, so they won't request any personal information, and they won't waste any time. As soon as you load the website that offers this service, you will be presented with your inbox, which you can use straight away. So as you can see, this can be very useful in many cases if you wanted to communicate with someone for a short period of time, or if you get asked for an email by a website and the website will send you a confirmation link, so you actually need to have a valid email, then you can use this. And in many cases, you're asked to have a company email, and these emails are great because they actually do look like company emails, unlike other emails that you get from Gmail and so on. Now, the main disadvantage with these email accounts is that they are relatively easy to break into, so you want to be careful about that. But if you're using encryption, which I'm going to show you later on in the course, then even if someone reads your messages, your data should be secure and encrypted as long as your keys are encrypted. But that's something to talk about for another lecture. For now, let's have a look on how to use these temporary accounts. An example right here, we have tempmailadress.com. There's also tempmail.com, and I'm going to include a full list of all of these websites in the resources of this lecture. There are also hidden onion services that offer the same service. So this website right here, gorillamail.com, right here I'm actually on their ClearNet website, as you can see, but they also offer a hidden service. So right here I have the .onion hidden service website, which is called Tor Mail, and pretty much it's the same functionality. It gives you a temporary inbox which you can use for 1 hour. After the hour, everything gets deleted. So using the inbox is very simple. You can see, first of all, you can actually set the name that you want to use for this email in here. You can also set the domain, so you can pick the @domain from any domains that you want in here. And like I said, this can be very useful if the website you're signing up for requires you to have a company email. Once you have these picked up, you can actually copy this email and share it on that website or send it to anyone that you want to receive emails from. But using the email like this makes it easier to guess your ID and gain access to this inbox. So a better way of sharing it is to use the scrambled link in here. So this is basically the same email that you see in here. It's just scrambled so that it's more difficult to know the ID. So you can copy this and give it to anyone that wants to send you an email. And just as an example, I'm going to go to the ClearNet version of this website, this one right here, gorillamail.com, and I'm going to click on Compose. I'm going to set the to email to the email that I have here on the darknet. And let's set the subject to test. And set the body to this is a test message. Now, as you can see, you can even add attachments if you want, but I will talk about file sharing in more details in the future. And once you're done, we can just click on send. And perfect, as you can see, it's telling you that the message is dispatched. And let's go to the darknet inbox in here and see if we're gonna receive it. And perfect, as you can see, we got a new message in here. So if we click on this, and we have the content that we expect, which says this is a test message. Now, one thing I should note is, as you can see here in the ClearNet version of this website, you have the compose button where you can compose and send emails. But in the darknet version, this functionality is not working as expected. And even if you click on reply, it's not going to work. Now, hopefully they fix this in the future by the time that you watch this lecture. But for now, the darknet version can only be used to receive emails. But that's not a big problem because, as you can see, through Tor and through Tails, we can actually still access ClearNet websites and we can make full use of this functionality. So, like I said, this is one option of receiving and sending emails. The pros is that it requires no information, no time is wasted on signing up, and everything gets deleted within an hour, or if you're using other services such as this one, you can pick how long you want to keep the account for. The cons, this might be easier to break into and it is temporary, so it will eventually expire. Therefore, it might not be good for all scenarios or for everybody. And like I said, these are just two examples of websites that offer these services. Check out the resources of this lecture for a list of more websites that offer the same service with slightly different features.